Welcome people to today's episode. Is Bitcoin next move 30k or 23k? Let's find it out together in this video. I'm the NakedTrader and today I will analyze Bitcoin, KLAY versus USDT, AIRBNB, KUCOIN versus Bitcoin, BAIDU, Morpheus Network and Ethereum. Let's start with the chart of Bitcoin. We had a nice green week this week. By the way, this is the weekly chart. Nice green week. So we found support, the most bullish support, and let's see what we can do the coming days. I was quite surprised, but yeah, it was the 21,378 area. That was one of the most bullish support, and from there we climb up. So that's very nice. Also, so we printed a higher low and higher high. We gained the last high, and also we have gained this drop off point here, the 24,460. Yeah, and if we can maintain the upward trend, then 30k will be the next target. And if somehow we will fail, then we will test a little lower, and that will probably be just below 23k. I will make last week's chart visible. So what do we see from last week? Let's see what play out. This one got front-runted because the low was higher as expected. So for now I will delete it. This one is also invalidated. This one is still in play. Yeah, I rather see a gain of the 25,200 area before the next aggressive entry. So we can leave the whole range here. And for now, we are currently rejecting. So yeah. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, I'll draw in the last low we need to hold. Yeah. Okay, it's very interesting. What's it gonna be? Will we have another push, or will we go lower? For now, we are rejecting the last high here, and that is from 16 February. Okay. So it might be interesting to be in a short or enter a short if possible. I will add some scenarios for the coming days. Yeah. So that is trying to hold this low. That was the last low which brought us all the way up here. The 21,649. or a gain above the 25,012, and then an aggressive entry. Yeah, that can be either 22,630 or 23,518. But then I prefer to see an higher gain for the more aggressive entry, continuation, and next target will be 30k. Yeah. So I think that's the plan for Bitcoin the coming days. And from Bitcoin, I will go to KLAY versus USDT. This is the weekly chart, and let me draw in some levels for now. Okay, from the weekly we change to the daily. What do we see? We see the range. Yeah, accumulation phase. Now we're starting to grinding upwards. No daily gain yet from the last high. So this is important to gain. If we gain the last high, then we can find a point of entry somewhere. And what is interesting, excuse me for the noise, my neighbors are moving in and they're doing some work in their house. Okay. Is there a 4-hour gain? Let me see. Yeah, in 17 minutes probably there will be one. Okay, that's nice. You see the first impulse is quite heavy, and now the second impulse is lower. So I'll draw in some scenarios. I think an entry around 22 cents, 23 cents will be very nice. Yeah, to aim for the 42 cents area or even higher, and that is 78%. And if we break through this, next target will be 86 cents, and that is very nice potential of 271%. So I'll also add another scenario. If we gain stronger, then a more aggressive entry will also be playable, and that is around 31.79, and to aim higher. Yeah. Okay, that is KLAY, and from KLAY versus USDT we will go to AIRBNB. So summer is coming up, holidays coming up, interesting, people are renting houses. So AIRBNB. Let's see if we can find an interesting point to enter. This is the weekly chart. We found here support. We print an high. We have gained the last drop off, which brought us all the way here. That is the gain of 101. No weekly gain from this point here yet. Maybe next week. Okay, I will change to the daily. On the daily chart, we have gained the whole area here. So the area below 127 is gained yesterday. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I will add some scenarios. Either an entry at 101 is interesting. And try to break here. That's the 140 area. Or the more defensive entry. That is around 94.66. Yeah. That is nice. And if somehow we have a stronger push, then you can enter more aggressive at 121 for the next push above 175. Yeah, so that's it for AIRBNB the coming days/weeks. And from here we will go to KUCOIN versus Bitcoin. We are now at the weekly chart, and I will draw in some levels. What do we see? The last few weeks, we slowly grinded downwards, trying to find support somewhere. Okay, from the weekly, wait, before I change to the daily. So this point is very interesting here. The point 0.002076 Satoshi. So let's say 2076 Satoshi. This is the last point that brought us all the way up. So I'm already interested to enter there for a potential 140 or more gain. And from the weekly, I'll change to the daily. You can see the nice range at 4060 Satoshi, between 4060 and 5078. If you enter here, exit there, enter here, exit there, just repeat the game over and over. Every time that's 25% profit. Okay. A low and high, a lower low, low high. And now what will it be? Rejection to print a new lower low, or a gain and a potential reversal. of construction. So interesting to see what will happen. I'll change to the 4-hour. Okay, back to the daily. Okay, the scenarios for the coming days / weeks. If we somehow manage to gain the last drop off, then you can try to find an entry around 3,493 Satoshi and try to break the 4,060. So that will be a reversal of the downwards construction. And if we reject here, then we probably will find support at 2,840 Satoshi or even lower. So this is an interesting point to enter, and also the 2076 Satoshi. Yes. This will be 16% or more, but only after the gain, after the reversal. So that's the breakout trade. This is trying to find support one for more than 22%. And this one more than 37% with the best RR. Okay, that's nice. And from KUCOIN versus the Bitcoin, I will go to BAIDU. And I will start at the monthly chart. So the all-time high was printed in February 21. Okay, that was just before the war, I think. And I will start drawing in some levels for now. And from the monthly I will change to the weekly. Currently rejecting the last drop-off point. Okay. I'll change to the daily. A lot of CME gaps too. Okay, we'll switch to the weekly again. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Yeah, the yellow line, let's say the 105.2 is bought up here, it's bought up here, it's bought up here. Here some volume is bought up here, bought up here. Normally, I will say if we reject the last high, we will go back to the start of the impulse, which is here. So normally I will say, let's try to enter around 94.90. But it's interesting that the 105.2 is bought up a lot and seemed to be an interesting point to enter. So both are playable. Potential gains are interesting. So either you enter aggressive at 105.2 or you pick the more defensive around 94.90 and try to break the current level. Yeah, and if we break through support, then we will go all the way back till probably here 66 area and try to reclaim the current range. Yeah. So yeah, pick one. They're all playable. Okay, that is BIDU for the coming days / weeks. And from BIDU, I will go to Morpheus Network versus USDT. This is the daily chart. This is some lines from October 22. So I've drawn in some scenarios, I think, on Twitter probably. So this one played out quite well. This one too. Okay, I will remove them for now. And I will clean up the chart a little bit. Okay, and let's start at the weekly chart. So what do we see at the weekly chart? There was a downtrend, and the downtrend, your accumulation zone, and now we are in an uptrend. So we have gained this drop off area here. Nice, we hold a higher low. And now printed an higher high, a weekly gain from the last high. That's very nice, very interesting. So the pot is open. Okay, and from the weekly, I will change to the daily. So we want to hold above 93 cents. The higher the better. What I can see now, the area between 147 and 168 seems to be very interesting to enter. Let's go to the daily. Okay, the 168 is already tested a little bit here. We're rejecting the last high on the daily. So it might be interesting to enter at 147. Yeah, okay. So I'll draw in some scenarios for the coming days. So here's a nice entry point. And I try to break the current last high at $2.39 with a potential target of $3.08 and even more. Or you choose the more defensive entry, and that is around $1.1499. Both playable. Okay, and if we manage to gain the last high, then you can enter more aggressive. And that is an entry around $1.95 and try to break the $3.08. So that's the plan for Morpheus Network the coming days/weeks. And from Morpheus we will go to Ethereum. Also nice green week. But if we compare it to Bitcoin, here's Bitcoin by the way, at the weekly chart, I still think that Ethereum is looking weaker. This is Bitcoin and it's already at the high of here. So let's say the high of the whole area. And Ethereum is still lower because the high of the area is around 1935. So still looking weaker than Bitcoin, but it had a green week. It holds support. Yeah. And I will change to the daily. Where Bitcoin held support here, Ethereum held support lower. Okay. I will make last week's chart visible. This was the plan from last week. So I will remove the plays who are invalidated, and this one. This one is also invalidated. This one is still in play. And this one I need to adjust a little bit because we have a daily gain here. So I would say a little more aggressive entry at 1410. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a very short analysis of Ethereum. These are the plays for the coming days. So I want to thank you guys for watching this week's episode. Don't forget to subscribe, smash the like button if you like this content. You can follow me in all the socials. You can find it in the banner or in the description down below. Thank you very much. See you guys next week. Have a nice day and cheers. Bye bye.